Hey, woo. All right. What is up and welcome. Salute everybody. Everybody who's in the chat and in the skybox. Hey newbie, what is up newbie? And how you doing Big Dog Philly OG? Hey newbie, they've been talking about T.S. Madison on the streets. Let me turn this down all the way. There's been some talk about her. You know, of course I went over there, I looked in Pastor's camp and I could see what he was talking about. Let me know, how did she come up? How did T.S. Madison come up? I haven't even heard her mentioned in a minute, so let me know. What is up? Living my best life. Welcome. If you know how T.S. Madison has come up, I don't know if you heard that people been talking about it. Let me know. I'm trying to figure out the origins of that. Hey, welcome L Blue. What is up? I hope y'all all doing well. I'm kind of being nosy. You know, I'm thinking there's an alignment with what some people are talking about and what I spoke about briefly on Tracy's platform last night. Was it last night? Yeah, it was. Oh yeah, when Big Four was there. Where is my Tracy? What is up, Auntie Donna? I'm glad to see you. Tracy, that dude, man, like, he needs not to talk to me. He really do, you know? Like, everything is good between you and I. Just because you got this, what is his name? Rob Rat. Just because you got this new dude, in the play, he just needs not to play with me. That's all. Because, you know, like, my tongue is as slick as his. You know, and it seemed like he's kind of like reaching for me, and it's in ways that I don't want him to. You see what I'm saying? And I don't mind teaching a person how to treat me, like, because it seemed like he would need a lesson in that. But yeah, like, with his playfulness, I might want to play back. You know, like, whatever name they give to him, whatever that freedom or liberty is, I might want to, you know, exercise that. You know, so he needs to steer clear of me. Especially with the slick shit that he said when I was over there supporting him on the strength of you. I set up to both his pages, channels, just on the strength of you saying so. And I windmilled a bit for him when Sonetta came on. The hell? You know, by stating like, oh, I'm here for Rod. You know, and then, yeah, like, I don't even know why he involved himself in that communication I had with you in the chat. When it came up on your platform, Tracy, you said you weren't aware, but I would have to take you back. I don't mind telling you all that happened. I'll keep it 100 a buck with you. I don't mind bringing you back to it, but you were there and we were communicating. Just when I asked you, have you checked me out? he wanted to go into what that meant, and then try to pretend like I was doing some cloud chasing shit in his chat. This shouldn't even had to do with him. He wasn't digging, trying to find out what the hell that meant. He shouldn't mind his business, like I do in regards to you and himself. You know, you and him. I'm on my damn business. That's what he needs to do with me. I'm not like a toy box or some shit, like, or a playground. Let's get it. Yeah, I'm like, is he trying to make shit? Because he don't have to come like in here that way, or whatever he's trying to do. But see, especially all of that gimmicky buffoonery shit that he was doing, like with the pen and pad. Like, I'm good. Let me just do this. Read the chat. Blue. Hey, what is up, my boo? It's good to see you. Okay. I'm thinking I said what's up to everybody. So salute. So I wanted to know if you guys knew how T.S. Madison came up. Y'all know the origins of that? Let's see. I'm not seeing any feedback, and I'm looking for it. Yeah, please hit the like, you guys. Appreciate you guys. If you want to subscribe, please subscribe to the channel. I wanted to come live and ask about that. What is the origins of T.S. Madison coming up? I can see that pastor was talking about it. He was kind of ranting too. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be there probably for all of 4 minutes, you guys. But I did hear him say, and again, or whatever he does. He's like, and again and again. I said, oh shit. I think that's my cue out. Let's see. Okay, I only had one fucking account left with this guy because he got me account. He had me blocked on this particular account, which is my main account. He has this whole little protocol, which you have to like send emails and shit like that. I ain't for it. So because I don't feel like I did anything. I could actually remember at the time where I was blocked. It was silly. Because I named 3 historical figures in a discussion that dealt with history, which is weird. Let's see, scroll up. Oh, scroll up, somebody told me? Okay, living my best life, let me scroll up. I did, okay. I scrolled up as much as I could. Yeah, so did someone fill me in? Living my best life. I see you saying scroll up. Did someone leave a comment telling me about T.S. Madison or answering that question? Do you hear me? Let me put my testing. Okay, it said L Blue told me. I didn't see what L Blue said. Let's see. Nope. And I see the top message. That would have been Nubiology. Let me see. Let me take my time. No, I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing L Blue letting me know. I'm not seeing that. L Blue, do you mind repeating it? Because I'm not seeing it. Let's see. Let me try a live chat. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know why it's not here. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I am seeing it. I'm seeing it now. Wow. And it just kind of like appeared. It says TS was mad that someone mistakenly purposely identified one of the people involved. Okay, got you in the Mexican. Right. So, okay. So I wonder where did T.S. Madison say that at? But I mentioned that yesterday briefly on Tracy's platform that came up, and it really stood out to me because I could remember covering Kevin Samuels' death. You guys know that I'm not. Well, those who follow me know that I'm not a fan, but I covered it. Still a prominent black man that was on the rise that passed that a lot of people knew about, and I speak about these things like on the internet streets or even celebrities. He was a celebrity, regardless to what list you would put him. He could be a Z list. You know, we're in the internet day and time where really, honestly, Instagram models could be of some type particular celebrity status. Yeah, depending on how big and known they are. But when that came out, it was people running around speaking about the trans thing. The only time I was compelled to really cover it is when I heard it over here. And sometimes I would do that. Like if I hear it over here a lot, if it's ringing like over here, I'm like, yeah, I think I might want to cover that or talk about that or see what people's thoughts are. But yeah, and I seen something. She's like a blogger who she tries to trace things back, and I think she traced that back to Twitter. The whole thing with the side by side picture regarding Shanquella, or the woman. What was the woman's name? Dejanay, right? Yeah. So Dejanay, and the whole side by side thing with the mail or whatever. I think she kind of traced that back to Twitter, and so I think it blew up there. Of course, it reached its way to Instagram, and content creators over here had did like a ton of that shit. I don't know if you guys know how widespread it was, but like if you were like to put Dejanay name in, or even Shaquella Roberts name in, and then put trans woman next to it, you'll see like a lot of different uploads and entries and lives that people have done. So it was litty for a minute, like among some people. Yeah, and even what's that big chick name? Nika at Night. She had did something on it as well. Let's see. But thank you so much, L Blue, for letting me know. Let's see. Okay, I didn't know that she was mad. I wouldn't say, what is up, Detached? I wouldn't say that women. I can get her being upset about that, but I'm not understanding why she directed her anger at biological women. See, true. I would have to see the rant, L Blue. So I'm just hearing about it. I didn't even know that TS did anything on it. But on Tracy's, I did get to bring it up, and I did kind of sense something from somebody or somebody's out there, like like this is a whole red herring. Perhaps I'm reading too deep into it, but like this is a whole red herring. Like you need not to do that now. You need not to add this distraction. And I kind of like sense that from a somebody or somebody's, and that was similar to what I felt like I sensed when I covered the whole thing about the woman that was with Kevin Samuels at the time that he passed, because they were saying that she was trans, the Ortez woman. I can't remember all the details, but I remember addressing that, and I'm like, why are people taking this and running with this? Like, but those are the questions that I'm hearing now. Like when people bring it up about, I'm not angry, but I got questions. I mean, my depending on the answers to my questions, I could become angry, but I wonder, like, is that like a trend type thing? But yeah, so the whole side by side portrait that originated on Twitter or whatever, like after that was done though, like I'm just thinking, like I feel like people are aiming a lot of questions at people for, like, I guess appearing like they're coming to the defense of trans people. And it's like all these questions like, well I even heard somebody say, well, how do you know she's a biological woman? So I'm like, oh, so if we're going there, then to me that's so reductionist that it takes away the whole conversation, because then we can't be sure of anything, you know. But from what I understand, there was no trans people there, like in that scenario in the room. I don't know if that's hard for some people to accept, but it's something that I accept. That's all I can ask. Someone can, could think that they're nailing me down or something and be like, well, how do you know for sure, Like, do you have a birth certificate? Like, no, I don't have none of those things. But I'm just convinced that people are wrong about the whole trans idea. That's and it seems like some people are angry about being corrected about it. But I don't even know how T.S. Madison went about that, and I would not hope that she would have did, like she said, coming at women. I don't know what her reasons would have been. Like, was she saying that women were the one that was spreading it? See, I don't know. Haven't seen that. But thanks for letting me know. I'll try to look it up. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Dreamy Genie Blue? How are you? Let's see. I'm trying to follow you guys. Her anger at biological woman. For not reporting on the trans women hurting rights. Oh. Thanks for adding that, Levon. T.S. Madison said people were messaging her and dragging her for not reporting on the trans woman hurting Shanquella, right? Because that was the narrative, you guys. And it said, it sounds like she responded from a hurt place. Perhaps or maybe a personal place, a personal and hurt place. Perhaps those people contacting her were women. I don't even know how that works. Let's see. How you doing, Claudia? It's good to see you here. Finally. Oh, what is up, Vibrant? How are you? Okay, so yeah. That's it. But I wasn't coming from a place, but I did kind of sense some shit from a somebody or somebody's about like, okay, let's not distract the whole thing. And I'm thinking like that should be people's energy throughout though. And also the whole thing of like, yo, you can be concerned about more than one thing at one time. Like, I don't get that type of thinking. Like, if you're correcting this thing with this trans thing over here, then it's taken away from attention that should go to Shanquella. And it's just like, no, actually, if anything, it's getting the story correct. If people talking about having the right, well, they talk about justice, and I just don't see how you get there with misinformation. But really, I think like it's really like fodder for a lot of people on online too, and for some of the numbers of the people online, it seems like it's fucking like news porn to me. Like how they mess over shit. And I don't think that was a mistake with that Twitter whole picture. But I can't see how that would not be deliberate from whoever started it. Because it started in a place, you guys, before, people took it and ran with it. It had to originate somewhere by a person, a thought. And I just didn't think that they had Shanquella in mind, the person who started it. That's all. And I believe that, yeah, like some of that whole thing, like, oh, this is a red herring, or this is an effort to distract. Like, yeah, all that shit needs to be also not applied to people saying like, hey, like, why are trans people always? Here's another question I had, and people didn't. My shit was bifo. It was, yeah, like, what is this thing with like trans people always being thrown up in it? But here's the other thing. What is this thing with calling black women, like, yeah, like, even if the woman that Dejanay, if you guys see her as a bad person, but what is this thing with referencing them as trans people? Because that's transphobic, but towards biological women. Like, you don't have to be a trans to experience transphobia. Like I'm thinking Dejanay experienced that, you know, like with this whole thing. And I just see people do that at times, you know. But regardless to her feature, like how do people make out that that's a trans feature? Because she has a pronounced bold nose. Like some black women have that, or what they're saying a broad jawline, or even a jawline with a dimple. Some black women and some women, just period, have that. Perhaps what we're looking at is what a broad jawline looks like on a biological woman. Perhaps that's what we're looking at. Perhaps what we're looking at is what a broad, pronounced nose looks like on a woman of color or something. Like perhaps that's what we're looking at. Perhaps we're not looking at a trans jaw. Perhaps we're not looking at a trans nose. And it's just funny how people make out these things, like when people have these particular features. Like that, again, oh, that's a man. I even hear people say that's a man, and I'm like, oh my god, like what the fuck? Like someone that presents that way cannot, in my eyes, be a man. You know, like either they're a trans woman or they're a woman. You know, like even like Serena and Venus, that's a woman. I remember back in the day, there was like a popular dancer, very popular. Her name was Big Les, and she had particular features. I'm like, but I never looked at her and thought that she was trans. That's just me. Like, because I be like peeping out the whole full scope. Of different things. You know, like what about a Patti LaBelle nose? Like, did you think she was trans like when you first saw her? Like, I mean, to me, it's just the assessments that people make. That's it. And what is it for? Let's see what the chat is saying. I made so many lies I should be fired. Right. And even like the male picture, I'm thinking like, wasn't that like created or Photoshop? The one that they put side by Dejanay. Like, I don't even think that male exists. Whoever, I don't think that's like a picture of a male that they found. Like there's all types of technology where you can do like the in-between stages. You can make a man from a woman and a woman to a man. Like how do people know they weren't looking at that? I'm thinking like if that was an actual male, he would have came forward and said, "Hey, this is me, and I am not Dejanay." With how this story is everywhere, like it's international, not just in the United States. Let's get it. Yeah, they were trying to do a hate campaign, and they thought they was not slick. Exactly. And to me, that was a whole disservice and distraction. Obviously, they didn't care about Shanquelli. I'm thinking. It was. I can remember with the whole Kevin Samuels thing, and I'm looking. I'm like, that is not a trans woman. I'm like, why are people saying that? With that Ortiz woman. Let's see. Wait a minute, let me see. I think people were upset with T.S. Madison saying Dejanay was one of her own. Oh, really? T.S. Madison said she just meant that Dejanay wasn't trans like her. Oh. So that's a phrase of one of their own? I'm not mad. Maybe someone who is upset by that could explain why. But I'm not mad at that, you know. Perhaps he felt that they were trying to heap it on the trans community, you know. And maybe the one of their own thing, even though T.S. Madison said it, but perhaps that's a quote from those people that was reaching out to her saying, so now what are you going to say towards your trans kind? Perhaps it originated with them saying, hey, this is one of your own and you haven't spoke on this. You haven't said anything. You know, and why are they digging T.S. Madison up? If let's say if it was a trans, why are people trying to excavate T.S. Madison out of the ground and find her, so and like pressure her to make a statement? Why are they doing that? So it seems like they already have some animosity. You see what I'm saying? So if a homosexual commits a heinous crime, like people are gonna come digging me up and pressuring me and saying, "Hey, this is one of your own," as if I had some type of connection or knowledge, or I don't know. Like how do I have a connection other than that? So perhaps yeah, other than sharing a similar attraction or the same attraction. Well, for her it would be a gender. For TS it would be gender, but in the situation that I brought up, it would be like same sexual attraction or whatever. Y'all, do you y'all see how superficial that is? Are you following? Are you following? I'm just sensing there's some animosity already. Like these people from these groups are people. But I would need to listen on what T.S. Madison said. I don't really like listening to her like that. Okay, let me see. All cis women don't look like Holly Berry. Some of us look like Roxima Jackson. It is what it is. Hell, that's Claudia. Oh Lord. Right. A broad jawline is not. It's not, right. And see, like, I just had my own take. Like it started when I was younger, you guys. A lot of it is filtered, I think, through like racial, like broken self-esteem and not really like feeling good. But like when they would show other like black people like in, let's say, third world nations or whatever, and like the women would have short hair, or the females would have like short hair. Like people would say, "Is that a man or a woman?" It's clearly a woman. I'm like, you stupid as fuck. Like, how could you even raise that or ask that question? But that shit kind of, I don't know. It's kind of started like with that for me. Like people pretend. I don't know. I just feel like people like to do black, like women in, or like it's like an attack on like femme, like. So it could be like women, females, like trans women, like it's that whole thing of what you supposed to look like. But here's the thing, like everything starts female, even males in the womb. So a lot of what will later become, I guess what we would judge to be male features, start out as female features. Right? You're right. You know? To me it makes sense. That's why, and you guys don't have to agree with it, but when it comes to transitioning, for like transgender people, if they're at that development, it's really important to start them off as early as possible, because just throughout a male's life, how they're maturing. And the definition of a man really is a mature state of maleness. You understand what I'm saying? So there's certain things that can be blocked, like beyond puberty and shit like that, testosterone blockers and shit like that. Like, but like, yeah, like the older you, as a male, the rule is the older you get as a male, and that male state, the older you get, the more manly you become. And I guess that's with like is marked by like certain features and facial hair, you know. But my whole question is, how do people determine that they're looking at a male jaw? Like, how do you know? How do you know you're not looking at a broad jawline on a female? Like, how do you know that's not the appearance of what you're viewing? It's almost as if you're saying, like, you thinking you know better than nature, and you're saying, "Oh, you can't find that." Yes, you can. Like, it's like females have shit like that. Yes, you can. You can find a broad-shouldered female. You can find a female that's not as curvy, like a Wendy Williams. Like, you can find that. You can find a female with long feet, um, larger hands than normal, that falls out of the average. You can find that, but I don't know. The whole thing, like, oh, so therefore that's a man. Like, what? Like, especially with, yo, I think we be doing too much on the internet. Like, what I'm talking about is the whole internet shit, you guys. That's it. That's it. They call needy leaks every man under the sun. They did that with Michelle Obama, but a lot of the supremacists did that shit. You know. Some women can be mistaken for transgender. Okay, but that's broad and open. But you know, I take it case by case. I always wonder why. Like, what do you think? Hey, what's up, Nihar? All right, everyone. Enjoy your Sunday and have a great week. But thanks for dropping in. I didn't even know you dropped in, but thank you so much. You're already leaving, Nihar. Okay. OG, absolutely deep voice, and even all of okay. A couple hairs on the chin. They make a mean potato salad. Okay. You know, I think that may come from a chemical imbalance. Some women, when they get older, they may sprout from hormones. They may sprout like a couple hairs on the chin, even on the breast. Yeah, I've seen that on the breast. Let's see. That'd be the same people out there lusting after Jeffrey. Whoa. I ain't going with the F. Oh, right. No, ma'am, sir. Okay. TS is cool. I just don't really like her show. Okay, it's no shade. Yeah, I haven't really watched her show like that. I haven't watched her since the court show. Okay, wow. That's a long time. No, I can't say that I haven't watched her since then, but I never really watched her consistently. Yeah, but all I can do is congratulate her. Like, she's doing her thing, that's for sure. She's not where she was 5 years ago. She's in a different place. She been, little parts on Beyonce album, whatever. So, okay, what are you saying, Claudia? I tried to pop in, but I don't know it. Don't hit the dang. Don't hit the dang. I'm not even sure. Don't hit the same. Oh, she must be talking about I'm GS. Okay. See y'all in these streets. Okay, living my best life. Okay, sweet. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Ooh. I see. I don't even know what's going on, but something might be going on. I'll run into you guys on these streets. But that's pretty much what I wanted to know and express about the damn conversations, man, with these people. But yeah, I don't have no anger. That's for sure. And I don't like the whole polarization of the us against them. I think a lot of that is already taking place. Like, your people. Like, I don't even know how people come to even say, but they do that. They be like, your people. I'm like, oh, they are my people? Like, I ain't know I enrolled, but okay. But I guess you're enrolling me. Let's see. Shit all over the place. Thank you, y'all. Gotta put this. Oh, okay. You doing a Thanksgiving? Okay. Yeah, thank you, God. Yeah, I guess you guys should have a happy Thanksgiving. I'm kind of grudge when it comes to that, but I hope you guys having a good holiday. I'm not gonna take your holidays away from y'all. Yeah, no doubt. You probably have some good food too, you know, and you didn't have to raise funds for it. Okay, you didn't ask anybody like, "Do I have a sponsor on my macaroni and cheese?" You didn't have to do that. So good for you. Good for you. Isn't that right? Isn't that right, Claudia? Claudia, is that right? Claudia, let's see. Okay, nobody had to sponsor my dinner rolls. Okay, no doubt. Man, these people, we'll talk about it. Again, please like the video, and if you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna see you guys on these streets. Peace.